we're coming back into prayer. So you see, Siddur and the way we study, which is Seder, which has in it surrender, differentiation and sweetening, has the same. It's like what we say, Sefer Sipur v'Sofer. So you have Seder Siddur, and the one who is acting as the arrangement is the arranger, you can say, the one that its consciousness is putting everything in order. But in Hebrew, order means the way you include yourself with that which is, meaning with truth or with the light as a general name of it. So it seems to be that inside Siddur, you have the content of accumulation of wisdom and work of many generations, of how actually they came to realize this relationship with the Creator. Some of it belongs to the definition of Judaism as a religion. So I wanted you to know the context of it. I wanted you to know the history of it. And we need to find what is relevant and what is not inside it. Okay. So let's look for example, and that is a long answer for the bottom of the heart. Okay. Where is the bottom of the heart? Okay. So it seems to be that we need to work in a combination of two powers, which is called mocha and liba, which is, we can call mind and heart, mind and feeling, and the ability to feel. Usually, we attribute feeling to religion, or we attribute being able to feel to believe, to faith. Now, in Israel, it's the opposite. Belief has to do with mind, not with feeling. It has to do with that which is the higher mind than you, which you are able to trust it with your heart. Okay. So it's the light that will smash you, that will actually reveal to me my inadequacy. In that I trust, which is not to do with belief. Belief is a state beyond me. Okay, so if we go into the order of the day, which is it separates itself to three prayers. Yeah, it has to do with shacharit, mincha, ve'arvit. Okay, so it's morning and noontime and some sort of vespers, you can say, but let's call them by their name. But they actually goes directly into the construct of our identity, of the identity of Israel, because they go into the forefathers. So if you do not find your identity composed of the three fathers, you cannot pray this prayer, meaning that the preparation prayer is to be able to connect to to this genealogy, you can, the way it appeared in the history of human being as it appears in Torah. Because now the story of Torah is the way that the higher is telling humanity all the tribulation and preparation that it went through in order or to be Israel or to be that which will be served and influenced by Israel. Okay, so one can say that Abraham is to do shacharit. You can do it like this or whatever. Okay. Okay. So, and it has to do with chesed, yeah, with grace. Okay. Again, you're going to do it. Go. Okay. Yeah, you can use this. Okay. But before we start it, we have to sort of put ourselves in the state of reforming the second sin of Adam. And the second sort of deep evil of not recognizing or not being able to be grateful for what was given to him. This is the heaviest sin of Adam. So we start the morning with giving thanks. This is modani. What means modani? It's actually saying, I thank you that I am. That everything that you gave me, that makes me in relation to you, I did not earn it, but I plan seriously to earn it. And you gave this opportunity, which is called spirit, back to me. So in a way, your trust in me is bigger than my trust in myself or in you. And this is a true state of myself. So you can say that you start the day with admission, with the confession of truth about our state, which is a statement of deficiency, not in relation to the way I am, that I cannot fulfill my desires, but I am in want, in the belief in you, because it ends that Creator's belief is great, meaning full of grace, of being able to wait patiently for my growth. Yeah. And so there is compassion, but it's actually capped with belief. So belief is a value that belongs to the higher. Then you actually prepare a different ecology. And the different ecology has to do with a circumlight and an inner light. And this is an expression of talit and tefillin. Talit is the external circumlight, which is saying, if I will not wrap myself with this light, there's no way that I can actually bind my wish for spirituality to faith. meaning there will be no internal light for real. Okay. So this is a state that is actually saying, in relation to, this is the order of actually what I wish to be included in. Now it has to go through the history of how the Creator was able to reveal, or through which consciousness, human consciousness, humans, human consciousness, the Creator was able to reveal parts or values of himself. So in order to actually make this alive, or live prayer, meaning live prayer is to actually submit to the definition that a prayer is only for what is actually missing in the world, and it is not available inside nature, inside creation, and it needs a new light. And this is only the light of reformation. So a true prayer need to go into those consciousness of people that actually forms this, one can say, entity that will become Israel. So if I need to relate to them. So they formed through the three stages, the three prayers. So you have Avraham, you have, I don't know if you do it with an I, Isaac or Yitzchak. I would write it like this. Okay. And then you'll have Gvura. Okay. And it's when the light is sort of beginning to, the light in the world, meaning the way we revolve is starting to disappear. Okay, it's the beginning of the sunset, of the movement of setting. Yeah, but I want to now translate it into value. Chesed, or grace, has to do with the complete belief of Abraham or Avraham that grace is a bestowal value of the Creator upon the createes, but it's one aspect. For Yitzchak, the createe need to earn it. Mm-hmm. So Mincha, the setting of the light, is the beginning of human work in order to be able to earn grace. Everything that actually is the work of the three has to do, including the act of what we call praying, has to do with endearing and increasing the value of grace. It's for Avraham, grace is natural. For Yitzchak, is not. It's something to work for. Yeah. It's not that Avraham is not grateful, but it's very. If you look at the formula in which faith first time is being actually defined in Avraham, so I'll try to. there's no problem of faith in our life. It's as though we are fighting to gain faith or belief or of the presence of the Creator in our life. This was not a problem for, or a question for Abraham. He did not ask a philosophical question whether God exists or not. Okay, it was clear to his life the presence of the Creator. Faith appears in him when there is a promise of genealogy, that there will be a son, that humanity will be able to grow the fruit of bestowing. For this he needed faith. Okay, and so the moment Abraham is not able to actually contain in himself Yitzchak, then his time is over and Yitzchak is coming in, and then there is the test of Abraham, which is to do with Kedah, with the sacrifice of, or the attempt to sacrifice of the sacrifice of Yitzchak, which we need to remind mostly to Christianity that it did not end by killing Yitzchak, which was the model of a good justification why we need to kill Israel. It didn't. Okay, so sometimes it's good to read Torah as it is. Okay, and not to rely on that. So, and then there is of what we call the combination or the inclusion, which comes in Yaakov. This is how I would read it, and it has to do with Tiferet, and it has to do with the evening, or the Vesper, the coming of the night. Coming of the night, which has to do with a continuation, because if you saw Kriyat Shema before you go to sleep, okay, it's actually a promise of continuation. So it's only the night of humanity can ensure the day to come. Only if, and this is why you can say that Yaakov has two names. One is Yaakov for exile periods, and one is Israel, which is for the time of establishing openly as a revelation the purpose of Israel. But something needed to give power, power to the power and cover. So Israel in exile, which is Yaakov, will be able to survive exile. It's actually surviving impregnation. Without the womb, knowing which is the nation, knowing that they are carrying Israel in themselves. Otherwise, there will be an abortion, and there was many trial of abortion.
And it's the prayer to be able to continue, or to be
first to choose at night when it's not clear, to be Israel, to bring, meaning to bring from the darkness, from the night, to understand that this is the only quarry that you actually can carve light out of. That is okay. So actually it comes into the set of an order of the parts that we actually form the prayers through the study, through surrender, differentiation, and sweetening. So we start with setting the conditions in surrender, having a deep understanding of the need to earn our relation, our discourse, our to actually earn the presence of the higher in us is to do with differentiation. Usually differentiation has to do with how we consider the other. Okay, how we consider the other. Well, it's a deep study that has to do with why actually Yitzchak prefers Esav on Yaakov. Okay, because Esav is the ultimate other. And as well, the desire in Esav is stronger. The sense of life. In a way, for Yitzchak, Yaakov tends to be too religious. He's sitting in the tent and he's studying all day. Because Israel need to be involved in life, not in religion as such. Religion should be its life. Okay, so this is how actually differentiation has to go to mincha, okay, which has to do with as I said, it's to increase the value of grace. To increase the value of grace, you need the other in the picture, because it's the value of the vessel, of the connective vessel. Okay.
It's the middle line.
Yes. No. It's the preparation. Yitzchak is more to do with our generation than Yaakov, Israel.
Why?
Because first, Yitzchak never left Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And Yitzchak is the one who, against his will, the spiritual, almost mystical tendency of the world to be swallowed by the higher, chose to go down from the altar to life.
Life, yeah.
Okay, but in order to get there, we need a middle line. We need Israel, Yaakov and Israel. Okay, the sort of to immerse them or to unite them as two oppositions. Okay, you can see that the most needed value or quality that is needed in Israel is unification. Okay, so this is how we go through. So this is the way our sages gave us sort of an order of how to go through the day, how to go through a study. So we need to find in ourselves, not reading prayers, finding the relevancy of the need that is being expressed in those finding for today, for the consciousness of last generation that wish to be in service of a formation. So you need to know it, and it's in order to actually form something in oneself that is able or is a true structure that can actually start the prayer of its time. Okay? So, as you understand, it's a lifetime job.
Not sure that one lifetime is enough.
No, this is one, could be another prayer, yeah, that we will not waste too much time. We'll be able to do it. Our spirit is not, it's not easy for it to go down here, okay? But yet she is reminded every time that for this she was created.
Mhm.
So the prayer is when it's even difficult for the spirit to be able through prayer to remind her that this is why it was created. Okay.